Good morning, welcome to Cherwell Valley Services on the M40. We're here today to have a look at the facilities they have on offer. There's a charging station off behind my left hand shoulder, and that's Gridserve with 350 and 100 kilowatts. But there's also a massive big retail centre here, so while your car is charging, there's plenty here to do. So we're going to have a look at the facilities here. Okay, so here we are at a 350 kilowatt. First thing I need to do is get my payment and the adapter, which I need. So here we go, 66 pence per kilowatt hour. So I select my charging method. We can plug in. There we go. And it's recognised. Tap the contactless. That's done. It says thank you. And you're allowed to start charging. So there's some clicking going on, preparing to charge, setting up communication with the car. A little red circle going round to show they're trying to talk to each other. I've got green light showing on here, so it's charging. Well, let's go and see what they have to offer here. It is rather busy outside, but that's because the fire alarm is going off and everyone has evacuated the services and is waiting for the all clear before they can go back in. Well, there's plenty of space in the car park, although I can imagine this will be very much busier at peak times. It's quite cold and cloudy at 11 o'clock in the morning, so the outside areas are not too busy, but there is plenty of outside space for when the weather picks up. The signboard clearly shows the array of shops and outlets inside. Now, once inside, I'm very aware of privacy issues, so film sparingly and carefully. So apologies for the footage. It is just designed to give you an impression of the space, cleanliness and standards that you will find here. I found everything to be clean, tidy and held to very high standards. Now, back outside, the chargers are busy. There are only two 350 kilowatt chargers free. Again, in peak times, there are quite likely to be substantial queues. I contrast this services with the next in the series, where there are 12 Tesla V3 250 kilowatt chargers and 6 Osprey 150 kilowatts. Motorway services really do provide a captive audience, particularly where the facilities are plentiful and clean as they are here. I am very aware that restrictive contracts are usually in place, restricting or banning other charger networks from being installed, basically providing a total monopoly. But this is very short-sighted. More chargers will mean more visitors for everyone. Or maybe Moto, the service's owner and operator here, might look into removing those restrictions and trying to attract more networks here. Or consider doing a deal with a current network charger provider to add those chargers themselves. This is a legacy from the fossil fuel industry, where each refinery viciously protected its own facilities. Have you ever wondered why you don't see Shell and BP fuel pumps on the same site, even in motorway services? This is no longer the 20th century, we've advanced into the 21st, and many of the old practices just linger on out of pure habit. We should challenge those outdated practices. When we get to see some of the other videos in the series, you'll find companies like Gridserve, when they're not restricted by the service owners, i.e. at their purpose-built hubs, welcome competition and welcome Tesla chargers. It simply attracts more customers to its cafes and restaurants, and it opens far more business opportunities. But more about that on another video. The services here are easy to find, are clearly signposted and provide sufficient space to make it a comfortable visit. For overnight visitors, there's a travel lodge, again with ample parking. On my Tesla, this Gridserve shows up as on my list of chargers, so my car automatically preconditions the battery on the way here so that I arrive with my battery at the optimum temperature for the fastest charging session. My own tests, again this is the subject of another video series, shows that preconditioning makes a huge difference. One little anomaly here, Gridserve on their website state that high-speed chargers are 350 kilowatt, but when you click on it and go to Google Maps, they list them as 460 kilowatts. Which is it? Please provide accurate data. Well, my experience here was positive. If I didn't have access to Tesla superchargers, which cost almost half the price, I would certainly add this to my list of charger locations to use. Well, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I'm already preparing the next in the series, so if you like this one, please click the like button and subscribe so you don't miss it. I welcome comments, both positive and negative, although I don't like abuse. Feedback from my viewers gives me direction for the channel. I cannot guarantee to take up all your suggestions. Sometimes opinions are split and I have to make the final decision, but I will always listen. Finally, next weekend is a huge event with the coronation of King Charles III, my old drinking pal. So I will be releasing a coronation special very shortly. Oh, and yes, it will explain how I know him personally.